welcome back to the channel. Today I want to kick off a new series. My plan is to take what I've learnt from doing the different setups on GT Sport and applying it to the rally section of the game to create some competitive builds that aren't just the normal Group B rally cars that they currently include. Now I have to say I haven't played a great deal of the rally side of this game, so my driving might be a little bit rough around the edges, but hopefully what I come up with might be of some use to someone out there. The way I've decided to do this, I'm going to set a hot lap using the Group B Ford Focus. I've decided to use this car because it's definitely one of the most consistent rally cars in the game, and I find it probably the easiest to use. To set the hot lap I only get 3 attempts, and that's going to be true of all of the rally cars I build. I'm just going to build them and take them on 3 laps, with whichever one is the fastest being the final score at the end. What you're currently watching is the best lap from those 3 attempts with the Ford Focus, and that's going to be the benchmark to beat. I'm definitely not out to set any world records with these times. In fact, with only 3 laps I'm sure I'll be bouncing into walls at all sorts. But I think it's a pretty fair test because it's going to be the same for every car, and it will definitely show off how easy the builds are to use. Or not, in some cases. There are some rules around this as well. The Ford Focus will just be fully stock. There'll be no adjustments made to it at all. The only thing that I will say is the traction control is going to be set to 1 for this attempt. And also with all the rally cars that I build, they'll also have traction control set to 1. As you can see, the course I'll be using will be the Sardegna Windmills course, and when I'm putting together the builds I won't actually take the car all the way around the track at any point, so the first time that I go around that track will be on the 3 attempts with each car. So there we go, the time I've got to beat is 1:24.689. At this point I have no idea if that's achievable or not, but we'll have a good go at trying to beat it. To kick off this first episode, I thought I'd make the first build on the Mitsubishi Evo 4 GSR. It's a firm favourite of mine when it comes to drifting, and with its rally pedigree I figured it was a good place to start. So here are the settings I've managed to come up with. So with this one you're going to need some mileage points. I've taken the power level all the way up there and then taken it to 183, which gives you exactly 500 brake horsepower. Weight reduction wise, I've only taken it to level 3 there. I feel like you do need a bit of weight to throw around in the corners, certainly to help you get sliding, but I've taken that all the way down on the level 3 there. Traction control, as I said before, is going to be set to 1 for this build. You may get a little bit more power out of setting it off altogether, but for the purposes of this anyway, and getting these times right, I've left that at 1. Dirt tyres front and rear, you don't have a choice on that. The brake balance has been left at 0. Now ride height wise I've actually raised that up to 175 both front and rear. I did find on the initial jump just before the start finish line on this course that unless you had it that high you weren't soaking up the bumps enough, and effectively the car was bouncing around a lot, so that's why I've set that there. The frequency 1.45 both front and rear. The anti-roll bar I've played with quite a lot actually, to be honest. I found this car understeered a lot, so I've set it so you've got 7 on the rear there and 6 on the front. It is still understeering slightly, but it's much more manageable, and you can get a nice little slide out of it, you know, pretty easily as well by distributing the weight. The damping ratio, the compression there is 63 front and rear. The rebound is 93 front and rear. Camber angle I've set to 0.5 at the front and 1.5 on the back. And the toe angle is set out at 0.15 and in 0.6 on the rear. There's no downforce options with this vehicle. In terms of the gearing, I've got the LSD set 12 front and rear. I can't remember if these are just standard or not, to be honest with you, but just have a look when you're doing it. The acceleration sensitivity is 40 front and rear, and the braking sensitivity is 20 front and rear. Again, this transmission setup is specifically for this course. It might not work necessarily on all of the ones you want to use it on, but it's very easy to play with. In terms of what I've got here, I've set the max speed to 130 and just left all the gear ratios as they were when I did that. The reason I've done that is the main start finish area where you've got the straight, you only get to roughly 130 anyway, so it's to give me the most acceleration and be as competitive with that Ford Focus as possible. So yeah, give these a go. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I'll leave you with the 3 laps now that I completed with this car. You can see that, to be honest with you, it was far more competitive than I was expecting, and there's not much of a difference between the 2 times with this and the Focus. As always, thanks for watching the video, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I've got videos going up every single week now, and it's always nice to see new people joining. If you enjoyed the video or the setup, please make sure you leave a like. It helps the videos grow and make sure they're seen by a lot of people. Use the comment section down below to let me know any feedback on this setup, if you'd like to see me do any specific ones in the future, or if there's any other games you'd like to see me play. Stay till the end to see the final time I got with the Lancer Evo 4, and I'll see you on the next video.